Hello, my friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kaya or Kaya Ann. I am a yoga practitioner, yoga instructor, wellness enthusiast, stretch therapist, or flexologist. Most importantly, I am a podcaster. I host my own podcast called The Perfect Prana Show. And of course, it's about yoga. It's available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and I post it every Sunday. I've been pushed to start posting YouTube videos because I've started a new segment on my show called The Theme of the Week. The way that I like to teach classes, sometimes I follow a theme. Like, let's say the theme is twisting. So I find different opportunities in asanas and movements throughout the class where we twist. And then I also like to think about how that theme is symbolic for life, like the symbolism and twisting in life, or however you want to put that. That's just an example though. This week's theme is sun, as in Surya. I talked a little bit about why I chose this to be the theme of the week on the episode in season 4, episode 1, but I will tell you a little bit why I chose it, and that's just because of Sun Salutation. The Sun Salutation, Surya Namaskar, is a sequence of different postures, including breath and sometimes chanting. I focus mainly on the movements and on the breath, and this sequence of poses is the basis of most yoga classes. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of yoga practices include a sun salutation. Most classes I've been to, I've done a Sun Sal or some variation of a sun salutation. I like to do it before I start a practice, sometimes before I work out, after I work out. It's good when you wake up in the morning. You could do it any time of the day. I have heard not to practice a sun salutation at night because it is extremely energizing. It builds up heat. It gets you going. I just love the sun salutation. So I am posting this because this is my own variation of a sun salutation. If you ever take my class or you get the chance to practice with me, I will probably do a sun salutation just like this because it addresses some of my needs on a deeper level than the classical variation of Sun Sal does. Don't get me wrong, I love a classical sun salutation. You need a good foundation, but this just takes it to another level. It adds a few movements and stretches in to where I needed them. And then also, it addresses the needs of a lot of the people that I teach. This is a very versatile practice. You could add things, you could take movements out if you don't like them. Some things to note is you might need props. And as in props, I mean a yoga block. I have 2 yoga blocks. I'm sitting on one of them right now, which I will be cueing with the yoga blocks as I demonstrate the sun salutation. But these are very nice. They have 3 settings. Setting 1, setting 2, setting 3. You could do a lot with the yoga block. And basically it's, if I need to get my hand to the ground and my arm just feels like it's too short, I can make my arm longer and get my hand to the ground. If I'm having a lot of tightness in my hips or in my legs, this just helps me create more space and makes the sun salutation a little bit easier, and you can really get the benefits by just adding the blocks and really being able to do the sequence to your fullest. I practice sun salutations a lot of times without blocks, but sometimes I just need to create more space, and these help me do it. So yeah, I haven't always had these yoga blocks though, and sometimes I have had to improvise. So if you don't want to invest, you're just not in a place where you can get a yoga block right now, you don't have access to a yoga block right now, but you still want to get your practice started, that is okay. You don't need a block. Again, you can do it without blocks, and I'll give different options for that. Or you can use something like this. This is a coffee can. Maybe you have some type of object or something that you have access to right now that is similar. This is a similar height to my yoga block. And again, if I need a longer arm, like let's say I need to get my hands to the ground, this can act as an arm, an extension of my arm. So this is a very nice tool. However, this does not have as many settings as the yoga block. And then something else to note, this is not as stable. This is a hollow can. This is not made to practice yoga. This is made to practice yoga. But sometimes you have to make do with what you have, make something out of nothing, and that is completely okay. So again, I'll give different options. With that being said, let's get on with the sun salutation.
Okay, voiceover time. So we'll start this practice standing with a few somatic movements on our neck to just get the blood flowing, get the kinks out. So go ahead, inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears, and then exhale to relax your shoulders down. Repeating this again, inhaling, shrugging up, exhaling to relax them down, and then inhale, shrug your shoulders up, and then exhale, relax your shoulders down. Keeping this movement going. I'm gonna look funny because I slowed it down just so I could do it with you all and you could see the visual. Just inhale, shrug your shoulders up, and then exhale, just relax them down. And just start to shrug your shoulders at a faster pace. Add a bounce to your knees, add a bounce to your heels, and just shake your shoulders and your spine up and down. You can do this for as long as you need. This just helps relieve any tension, any soreness, anything that you're holding, just shaking it out. When you're ready to, you can come to a halt and we will try out another somatic movement to help release any tension that you may be holding. So we'll start this movement by inhaling to float our arms up overhead, and then exhaling to swing your arms down while bending your knees. Inhale to bring your arms up in the air. Exhale to swing your arms down. Keeping this going, keeping your breath and movement connected. As you inhale, holding your arms in the air as if you're holding an imaginary block. And as you exhale, swinging your arms down and bending your knees. Staying with this movement for as long as you need to. Imagining you're throwing some imaginary ball or block down to the ground. Now for the sun salutations, come to the top of your mat, plant your feet hips width distance apart in the blocks on the outside of your feet. Push the ground away through your feet and send energy up your spine. Roll your shoulders up and back, palms facing forward. And we'll start with a few half sun salutations. So inhale your arms up overhead, expanding your belly, expanding your rib cage for Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale forward fold, letting your head hang completely at the bottom, releasing your neck. And then inhale for half lift, lift your heart halfway and lengthen out your spine. And then exhale to forward fold. Taking your blocks to whatever setting you need them to. Feel free to keep your knees bent throughout this movement, and we'll be repeating this a few times. So inhale, arms up overhead, gazing at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, releasing your neck fully, bringing your hands to the blocks, the floor, your shins. Let your upper body be heavy and get ready to inhale for half lift, lifting your heart halfway, making your back as flat as a table, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms up overhead for Urdhva Hastasana, focusing on your gaze points in between your thumbs. Letting your breath Match your movement. Exhale to forward fold, sending the energy down, gazing at your nose. Feel free to bend your knees if your hamstrings are super tight. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Bring your hands to the blocks, your shins, lift your heart halfway. Gaze between your eyebrows, and then exhale to forward fold, letting your upper body be heavy. Let gravity do its work. Hang here for as long as you need to. And then inhale, arms up overhead. This time we will go into the full variation of Surya Namaskar. So exhale to forward fold. Release fully through your neck. Gaze at your nose. And then inhale for half lift. Gaze in between your eyebrows. Lift your heart halfway. And then exhale to send your left leg behind you and lower your left knee onto the ground. Hover your right foot with your hands on the blocks or your fingertips on the floor. And then inhale, rise up into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Press the top of your left foot into the floor. Exhale, bring your right fingertips to the floor on the side of you or your right hand to the block. Stretch your left arm up and over your ear and go for a side bend along the left side of your body. Inhale, arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring your left hand to the floor. And you can stay here, turning your chest toward the right side, or you could bend your left knee and go for a bind between your right hand and your left foot for a quad and hip flexor stretch, keeping your chest lifted. Breathing through the stretch. Breathe out, forward fold, and bring your right leg behind you, transitioning into tabletop position onto your hands and your knees. Rock your chest back and forth just to warm up the wrist a little. Bringing your hips back into space. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale to bend your elbows, keeping your elbows tucked into your waist, and lower just your chest to the ground. Keep your tailbone lifted and lower your front body fully to the ground. Together as much as possible. Press the top of your feet into the floor, and then bring your forearms forward, your elbows a couple inches in front of your rib cage. Spread your fingers wide and lift up your chest. And inhale through your nose for this variation of Cobra or Sphinx pose. Pull your shoulders down from your ears. Keep your chest lifted and keep your neck long. Hands underneath your shoulder, and we'll do a little bit of back release through spinal mobility. So inhale, lift your left leg into the air, and exhale to roll onto your right hip, crossing your left leg over your right leg, keeping your chest fully down, and roll to center. Inhale to lift your right leg into the air, and as you exhale, rolling onto your left hip, keeping your chest glued to the ground. Releasing your back if there's any tension there. Come onto your front body fully and press up through tabletop to downward facing dog. So act as if you're pushing the ground away. Lift your hips up and back into space. Keep your heels lifted, your knees bent, and your hips high. Take 2 deep cleansing breaths here. And feel free to pedal out your legs, bending one knee at a time. You can keep your hands on the floor, or you can bring your hands to the blocks and experience down dog with your hands elevated. Inhale through your nose, fill up your belly, and exhale to tuck your left knee into your chest. and roll your body forward to step your left hand in between your hands. Breathe in, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, palms apart or together, it's your choice. As you exhale, left hand to the floor on the side of you or to the block, and reach your right hand up and over your ear for a right side body stretch. Inhale, arms up overhead, and then exhale your right palm to the floor, to the block. You could stay with the twist or bend your right knee and go for a bind between your left hand and your right foot. Breathing in this quad stretch, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee and step into a half lift, lifting your heart halfway. Hands to the blocks or the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Release your neck fully. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Gazing at your thumbs, palms together or apart, it's up to you. Exhale to forward fold. Releasing your neck fully. Hands to the blocks or your shins. Inhale, half lift. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, right leg behind you, transitioning into a low lunge. Anjaneyasana with your left foot forward, arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bringing your left fingertips to the floor inside of you or to the block, stretching your right hand up and over your ear. Inhale to the center and exhale to transition into a twist, your chest facing the left side. And you can stay with this twist or go for a quad stretch, grabbing onto your right foot, keeping your chest lifted. Exhale to forward fold. Tabletop position, plant your hands shoulder distance apart, spread your fingers wide, come onto your knees, rock your chest forward, and lower just your chest down for this variation of Chaturanga Dandasana. Prone back bend, low cobra, or Sphinx pose. Bring your forearms forward. Again, fingers spread wide, chest lifted, pulling your shoulders back and down from your ears. Inhale through your nose. If it's safe for your neck and shoulders, tilt your head back, opening up the throat, gazing in between your eyebrows. You can bring your head to neutral, your hands underneath your shoulders, and press up into tabletop. Bring your hands to the blocks if you have them. Round your spine, lift your hips up and back into space for downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose, and as you exhale, bringing your belly and your thighs to meet, making a V shape with your body. Keep your breaths deep, and as you exhale, gaze at your belly button. Last inhale, and as you exhale, tuck your right knee to your chest and roll your body forward to step your right foot in between your blocks or your hands. Lower your left knee onto the ground and inhale to rise up into Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. Exhale, right hand or fingertips to the floor or your block. Stretch your left hand up and over your ear. Think about turning your heart up and inhale to the center. And exhale for your left hand to the block or the floor and go for the twist. Or go for the bind of your left foot, lifting your chest, staying with your breath. Inhale and exhale to release your foot. Bring your hand to the block. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. And inhale, step into half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale to release into your forward fold. Letting your upper body be heavy once again. And then inhale for your arms up overhead. And then bring your palms together and to center. And we have completed one full cycle of Sun Salutation. Let this be your practice, or just the beginning of your practice, or just a cool down after a workout. It's up to you.
Thank you so much for following along to my variation of the Sun Salutation. I hope you carry this practice with you and can find ways to make it your own. Stream the Perfect Prana Show on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. With that being said, the light in me bows to the light in you.